What's going on, ENN? I'm Jordan Greer.
I'm Jeremy Moore.
And let's get right into these announcements. Attention seniors attending the 220 Washington, D.C. trip. There is a mandatory meeting being held on Sunday, March 1st at 5 p.m. in the Avon High School auditorium. This mandatory meeting is for all students attending, and it's suggested that a parent/guardian attends as well. Important information like luggage drop-off, medication, parking, and trip itinerary will be discussed. Please see Ms. Malone or Mr. Henderson with any questions.
Next week, Avon High School will participate in a national awareness and call to action program offered by the Sandy Hook Promise called Say Something Week. Throughout the week, students will have opportunities to learn about the awareness and prevention of serious issues that we face in our daily lives. The goal of this week is to help us become upstanders in our community, people who can recognize warning signs, signals, or threats, and know to act immediately and say something to a trusted adult. Each day next week will highlight a specific area of concern. To show your support in our school-wide effort to become more aware of these issues and how to handle them, please participate in our dress themes.
On Monday, wear yellow to support mental health awareness and suicide prevention.
On Tuesday, wear red to support substance abuse prevention.
On Wednesday, wear purple to support teen violence prevention.
On Thursday, wear orange to support the prevention of bullying and cyberbullying.
On Friday, wear green to support prevention of gun violence. Tomorrow is Saturday, February 29th. That means 2020 is a leap year. What exactly does that mean? Here's Naya, Adrian, and Kylie to fill us in.
Well, leap year is this thing that we need because the Earth rotates, and that's a day. Now, the Earth also revolves around the sun once, and that's a year. Well, it's not even. There's not an even 365 rotations for one revolution. Actually, it's 365.24. So what happens is there's a disparity between where we are in our orbit and what the calendar day is. And if we just left it alone, then all of a sudden there would be this gap, and it would get wider and wider each year. As a matter of fact, every 4 years we'd be off by a day. And if you take this by a ridiculous end, you would start to have the seasons kind of being reversed. You would have summer where it's winter and winter where it's summer. You'd be hoping for instead of hoping for snow on Christmas, you would be hoping for no snow on July 4th. So to counterbalance that, what we do is every 4 years we add a day to kind of fix the tracking, if you will, of our calendar with where we are actually in our orbit. There's a lot of ancient cultures that realized that it was off a little bit, and so the Egyptians realized it. But I think officially, the first official calendar adjustment was with Julius Caesar over 2,000 years ago. Fixed the Roman calendar so that every 4 years they would add a day. Now, again, it takes 365.24 days. Almost a quarter day. So adding a day every 4 years almost works, but because it's 0.24 every 100 years, when we're supposed to have a leap year, we say, no, that's okay, we're not going to do that. So that actually really fine-tunes the adjustment. So again, this is just a matter of looking at where we are in the orbit, realizing that our rotation is not perfectly even with it, and adjusting our calendars accordingly.
Hi, I'm Lexi Frank. I'm a sophomore at Avon, and I'm the only person here with a leap year birthday. I'm 15 right now, but I'm technically 3 3/4, and I'm turning 4. I celebrate on the 29th, but when it's a non-leap year, I celebrate it the 28th and the 1st, one day with my mom and one day with my dad. Like in grade school, I'd get my birthday announced every 4 years, not every year. That kind of sucked when I was little. Everyone thinks it's pretty cool. I mean, technically, like when I'm 18, I turn 18 on the 28th instead of like the 1st. I thought that was pretty cool.
Thank you for that story, Kylie, Adrian, and Naya. And also, happy birthday, Lexi. Yo, wait a minute. Are we supposed to have our phones out in class?
Oh, my bad.
All right. In today's first installment of ENN Wants to Know, Elisa Dare and Trent, Sarka, 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 Trent, Sarka,
you.
I like having my phone in my pocket. It's a feeling I'm familiar with, and when it's not in my pocket, then I just feel like a weirdo up there, you know?
I like it because a lot of my students are more engaged and there's a lot more talking going on in class rather than them just kind of staring at their phones in class.
It's the same thing as last year, I feel like. Since last year we weren't allowed to have phones and transitioning, it was the same thing.
Because students were wasting time on their phones, and I don't think a lot of our students have a sense of their academic self yet, and noticing that like their grades were slipping and they were wasting time and they weren't necessarily understanding things as well as they should be, all because they were spending their time on their phones. So they weren't able to self-regulate themselves, so we needed the rule to help them learn those skills.
Everybody was on their phone all the time. There wasn't really much order in it. So I think it's definitely making us pay attention a little bit more.
I also think that we as teachers are recognizing that if I fail in implementing this policy, it makes it harder then for my colleagues to do their job.
Because I think people they just waste their time, and it's like we spend so much of our time on our phones anyways. When we're in school, we really need to dedicate that time to learning and getting our work done and focusing on our academics.
No, in fact, even in my class, when we had each teacher could kind of make their own decision, it was usually pretty forbidden in my class to have phones anyhow. So.
Honestly, I would not. I still let my students use like Kahoot through the phones and stuff at the end of class, so still we can incorporate them sometimes, but for the most part they do use the slots, and I put them in there, so I kind of like how it's set up right now.
We may not like it, guys, but it is school policy, so put your phones up.
Yeah, and that's all we have for you today, Avon. I'm Jeremy Moore.
And I'm Jordan Greer. Have a great day.